Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Object 261. It's the Tier 10 Soviet SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Redshire under the command of the BassmanFromHell. Yes, he's back and playing Arty after quite a long time of playing tanks. In fact, this is not the only Arty replay he's sent me recently, and we'll have the second one after this one. Okay, the Object 261, it's got an 18cm gun, rather unusual for a Soviet Arty, but it was actually a naval gun. And it's mounted on a hull that actually came from an IS-7, although it doesn't seem to have the armour values you'd normally expect from an IS-7. Okay, he's looking at the other end of the map. He's found a Cramvan and a 62p rounds out. Ooh, that was so close. 222 hit points off the Cramvan. I don't think he'll be happy about that, because he'll need those hit points later on, I think. Standard reload is 30.68 seconds, and Baseman's got it down to 25. Okay, he's looking up on the hill. Our guys are doing a aggressive spotting, and EBR-105 goes over there. Ooh, that zipped over the head of that Object 140 as he was backing away. Now, the alpha from this gun is 800. It's not as high as you'd get from a 203mm, but it does have a fairly good reload speed. And the other thing that's in the favour of this Arty is the fact that it dials in very quickly on the enemy. Rounds out. Direct hit! Oh, that 60 TP got a one right on the nose. And yeah, that's gonna hurt. We're looking at a Manticore. That's the tank that Baseman's been playing up until now. Well, quite a few replays. You may have seen them on our channel. Oh, he just got tracked! But he managed to fix his tracks in time and pull away. It was our Manticore who actually tracked him. And he's chasing after him. And Baseman's trying to line up a shot on him. Let's see. Rounds out. He fires ahead of the path. No, didn't get it. Okay, he's looking through the gap in the Zeppelin there. Now, although there's a beam there, he might be able to get the shell through. Because remember the trajectory, it goes high and then comes down again. All Arty shells do that. Very few go direct, unless they're close enough. Oh, that IS-7 just finished off our Cramvan. Rounds out. That hit him directly for 203. Stunned him. And he's just taken some more damage, so Baseman's picked up some spotting assist. Now, Baseman said that he actually played this one late at night. He's come back from his recuperation in the Caribbean, and he decided to play a few games late, and oh, splash on the Cramvan. And he was actually doing quite well from his midnight gaming. Said he ought to leave some of his gaming until late at night because he seems to get better results. Okay, he's trying to get a slot. No, can't get it through there. Might be able to get that Cramvan. In fact, he's lining up the shot. Rounds out straight away. Direct hit! Oh my gun, that looks like a penetrating shot for 763. I think it was a penetrator on the engine deck of the Cramvan. Cramvan doesn't have heavy armour on its rear. In fact, the hull's fairly light, so I could well believe that that one did penetrate his engine. Okay, he's trying to line up another one, but the Cramvan's not being very cooperative. But okay, there's the 60 TP he hit before. Ramps out, and he hits the 60 TP for 239. But sadly, we've only got one guy left there now, and he's just been wiped out. That was the 260. So Baseman's now having to relocate in order to get away from the enemy. This Arty will do 50 kilometers an hour top speed, so it's actually one of the faster Artys. It's not the fastest, obviously. That is the FV304, and some of the French Artys are a little faster. We're looking at a Jaegeru some distance away. Rounds out on him. Direct hit on his front plate for 250. It's good shooting. Looks like we're not the only one to move in this direction. Although one of our RTs has stayed behind in the slot, you know, that little area next to, or over the far east side of the map. And unfortunately for him, it looks like he's probably going to end up dying there. Okay, we're looking at the Jaegeru again, and he's down to his last few hit points, so to put this one near him, oh, he gets killed just as the shell leaves the barrel, and he's out the game. Yep, there's an enemy T-95 making his way towards our teammates, but we're focused on the Bat Chat 25 ton near the centre line at the moment. He's harassing our T-110E4. In fact, that E4 has gone. Yep. That's not surprising. Rounds out the Bat Chat. Oh! It tracked him. And he is taking damage after being tracked. And he's out the game. So that was a good shot. And it looks like the enemy T-95 got wiped out as well. Over on the far side. It's the T-95 FE4201 that got killed. Okay, we're looking at a wreck at the moment. But we're waiting for someone on our team to spot them. And I just saw a post go down, which tends to indicate there's an enemy tank in there. And there is. And there's the 60 TP again. Was that the same one? Well, it stunned him. I think that is the same one. I'm not sure if the enemy... No, the enemy doesn't have two of them. So it is the same one. Okay, he's looking towards the river crossing because there was a Viz 55 somewhere around there. There he is. Now, he has been stunned by one of our Arty. Looks good. Rounds out. That should hit. Oh! RNG said no, and the shell went long. Oh, that Cranvarn is ripe for plucking. Come on, you can do it. Well, the object 268 pops up. It's a difficult shot because he's just the other side of the hill, and I don't think we can get him from here. He decided to go a little further towards the back to see if he can get a different angle. That's the outbound shell from our teammate. Okay, we're looking for the T-110E3. There he is! Okay. Rounds out. Yep, that does it. 240 from a round that landed right in front of him. So he's racked up 2,200 hit points of damage so far and 2,000 of stun assist. So he's well on the way to an ace tanker if he can get one. 268 suddenly come around the corner and he did get tracked. And now he's going to get an enema from that Bat Chat 25 ton. Who's delighting in putting the rounds into his rear, and he's out the game. Okay, 261 on the enemy team gets wiped out. Now we're going for the T-110E3. The Cranvarn's trying to block him. We're loaded, we're dialing in, rounds out. Direct hit right on his side. Look at that, you can see where the hole is. Right in the side of the vehicle. It probably wasn't a penetrating shot because he only did 183 hit points of damage, but he did get some stun assist off it. And now that E3 is retiring, he's pulling away. I don't think we can get another round on him because he's going behind the castle keep. Okay, rounds out. Oh, close. Almost hit our own Bat Chat there, but the Bat Chat kills him, and that's out the game. And in fact, he tracked him, which meant that he got the damage assist out of that one. The Cranvarn's a one shot, and the 268 goes in and wipes him out. There's only 3 enemy tanks left. A Viz 55, a 60 TP, and the T92 HMC on the enemy team. Okay, there's the 60 TP coming our way. And that's a splash. Now, he did take out our friendly RT over in that corner. The GWE100, he got taken out. Hopefully R261 and the one behind us will move this way. Yes, he's telling him, get the hell out of here. They're definitely coming this way. 268 will tell us where they are from the hill, and then we should be able to get some shots on them if they go near the cap area. But for the moment, the best place to be is up this side of the map. The enemy T-92 HMC has been wiped out. Get through the castle as quick as you can, come out the other side and then turn, and you should be able to get lined up on the enemy for when they go into the cap area. Good tactical thinking. Redeploy so you can keep firing at the enemy. Okay, this is a good spot, and the 60 TP's been spotted, and he's in the south. He's looking for us, but he can't find us because we're too far north for him. But he'll find out where we are very shortly. He's just lost 264 hit points. Oh! Well, he thinks he's on a BMX course. Okay, even whilst we're redeploying, we're watching what the 60 TP is doing, and he's dead. Which means now the last enemy is the Viz 55, and it's just to win the game. 2.8k of actual damage, 2.4 of stun. And there's the Viz 55. He is coming up through the castle. And we're going to keep moving. We turn to face him. Lining up a shot. Got to let it dial in. But remember, it does dial in quickly, the 261. He's decided not to shoot because there is some castle in the way, so he is going to redeploy to the east. The other object 261 is just heading north. The 255, the Viz 55 has actually now been spotted. He's in the moat. So if we go a little, yep, he's doing it right. Just get round the corner and then we can lob the shell over the hill. And there you are. Perfect. Okay, he's in the moat. He has to come out of the moat in order to attack us. I think he's still in there. He might be underneath the bridge. 268's found him. Rounds out. Yes! Nice hit. 56. We're getting stun assist. I think that Viz 55's bitten off more than he can chew, because even though the 268's there, he gets a kill. And that is the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a first class tanker for the Bassman from Hell in the Object 261. He got a bruise the medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 12 in this one. Is that 12 or 13? I think it might be 13. My eyesight's deceiving me. Yeah, it is 13. He also managed to get a Confederate medal because he hit more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other teammates. His win rate was 2,380, which is very good indeed. Let's have a look at the team score and see where everyone is. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That actually went to that Viz 55, who also picked up a high caliber for 6,817 hit points. The second highest damage in the game went to the Object 268, who killed him with 2,879, and 3,773 went to the Bat Châtillon 25 ton. The Manticore on our team managed to get a Pascucci's medal, and of course Spaceman managed that Confederate. So a fair number of awards there. But anyway, let's have a look at the number of kills. Well, that goes to the Manticore because he got 4 kills in that game. 3 kills went to the 268, the Cram Farm, and the Viz 55 on the enemy team. And when it came to Bassman, I'm afraid he didn't get any kills, but that actually helped him to get the Confederate. When it came to base XP, he's actually in third place overall because the Manticore got 1,131, the Object 260 got 885, and Bassman managed to get 883, just 2 experience points below him to snatch the third place. Bassman fired 19 rounds in that game, and you only get 20 rounds in this Arty, so he only had 1 left at the end of the game. And if he actually had waited for the 268 and the 268 did do the job, he might have had a chance to get a Faden's medal, but he missed out on the opportunity. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 1 was killed, 19 hit splashes on the enemy as well, 3,097 hit points of damage, all of it done at more than 300 meters. He damaged 7 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, but he did get Was that actually, no, I was reading that wrong. It's 8 direct hits, 1 penetration on the enemy. He did, yes, he did pen that Cranbarn, I think. Just check that. Yes, he did pen him. Yes, 1,095 hit points of damage. I read that out wrong. Okay, start again. 7 enemy damage, none killed, 565 hit points of damage assistance, 2,738 hit points of stun assist of 18 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 66,375 credits from the game. He also got 65,000 credits for completing a mission, and he picked up 250 gold during that game as well. I'm not sure which mission that was for getting 250 gold. May have been Battle Pass or something like that. But it's all welcome all the same. His grand total was 131,375 credits altogether. And after ammunition, resupply and consumables, took away 88,755 gold credits and 250 gold. I'm getting focused on that gold there. 7 bonds for his vehicle being tier 10. 1,324 XP times 4 for the first victory. Took away 5,298 experience points altogether. So a great game from Bassman when he was really tired in the evening. I think that might have relaxed him a little, so he was thinking clearly and could get the battle done so well. So let's have a look at the Object 261's armor. I know you will like this new feature because it actually gets you to see exactly where these vehicles can be hit. The Object 261 is basically an IS-7 hull, but it doesn't really have IS-7 hull features because look at this. The armor, impacted armor there is only 75mm. Effective armor 134 because it's well angled. And the lower plate there's 65mm. Again, it's only about 116, actually it's 85 there, but because I was angling it a little. On the side of the hull you can see 50mm with effective armor 60. Sides here, well, it's only 13mm at the back. It's very thin armor. It's only really to protect the crew from shell splinters and small arms fire, really. And yes, so it's not an IS-7 when it comes to its armor, but that's the hull that it's actually been used. They just didn't apply the armor that normally goes with an IS-7. Let's have a look at modules. Well, if we bring the module map up, you can see the engine's up front, so's the transmission. There's the transmission right in front of the vehicle, the engine directly behind it. We've got the driver actually in the compartment, much like the M53, M55. Directly behind him is the tank commander, and the gunner in this one is on the left-hand side of the vehicle as you're looking at it. He's got the radio on his side of the tank. Should be next to the commander, but they haven't done it that way. We've got 2 loaders at the back of the gun, obviously, or the howitzer, as you should have, and the ammo racks are right at the rear of the vehicle. Now, if I line that up correctly so you can see exactly where on the rear of the vehicle, well, if you look at the rear there, you can see it's that little box on the back. That's the area you should aim for, because you'll either take out the loaders or you'll take out the ammo rack. But it's very thin armor. It's only 30mm, so any shell fired at this vehicle at the rear, it's more than likely going to go through, and especially if you can fire an HE round from an Arty at Object 261 should take it out. So yes, relatively simple. The fuel tanks you can see are just inside the vehicle, inside the tracks, and they are along the full length of the vehicle. So any shell fired in through the tracks at the rear end is more likely going to get a fuel tank hit. So that's the first battle in this this video. Let's have a look at the second one. The second replay is in the Bat Châtillon 155-58, the tier 10 French SPG. We're on the south spawn of Prokhorovka. Game started. Well, they only made one prototype of this tank, but they cancelled the project in 1958. It was supposed to be a replacement SPG for the Lorraine 15550 or 15551, which were developed in 1950 and 1951 respectively, but they never got built. And then they tried out the 150 Bat Châtillon 15555, but then that didn't get built, and so they actually manufactured a prototype for this Arty. It's got a 155mm howitzer, which is capable of doing 680 alpha and it will penetrate 48mm of armor. And oh, he's got his first target. Grabs out. Direct hit on the Centurion, or the Chieftain. The T95 FP4201, which is the only replacement we get for a Chieftain. Saw a Leopard dive in there, into the dip. He's trying to circumvent our guys, but we actually do have tanks down there. In fact, there is a Leopard 1 on our team in there as well. It's a 3-shot autoloader on this tank. Rounds out the Chieftain replacement again, but this one doesn't hit. In fact, the enemy's got 2 tanks that have dipped now. Well, this is going to be interesting. We're in the long reload. The standard reload is 49.86 seconds. Bassman's got it down to 48.75. Unfortunately, we just lost the Bat Chat 25 ton, and our Leopard is having to pull back to use his gun depression on the Object 277 and the Leopard. I don't think it's going to work out too well for the Object 277 or the Leopard on the enemy team, because we do have a 60 TP a little further back who's watching them, waiting for them to come up so he can get a good shot. Okay, we're about to cause some mayhem. Rounds out. Ooh, lovely shot. Hits both of them, stuns them both. The Object 277 uses his first aid kit quickly. Ready to fire again. Rounds out. 10-second intra-clip reload. 3 shells. Ready. Rounds out. Direct hit on the 277. Stuns the Leopard at the same time. You don't get much stun from the 155mm, but considering you get 3 shells, you get 3 times, well, not 3 times the stun, but you get 3 chances to stun them. Well, the 277 is now in a little trouble because he's got 2 tanks coming down on him, and one of them's bound to get him in the end. It's just a matter of time now before he's out again, back in the garage. Okay, we're almost loaded. 11 seconds to go. Going back to the T95 FP4201 and the Super Conqueror. And there goes the 277 right up on top of the hill. We've got a T110E4. Well, that was near him. Now having a quick look at the Super Conqueror. The turret's turning. It's a 360-degree turret. It'll go all the way round. Rounds out with the Super Conk. Well, we've got some stun assist off the T110E4 up on the hill. And now we're looking at the IS-4. Almost loaded. Rounds out again. Now this is one of the faster Arty. One of the good things about the Bat Chat 155-58. It's got a top speed of 62 kilometers an hour. Not quite as fast as the Burt, the FD304. That's got 72 kilometers an hour. But it's still pretty fast all the same. And because it's got a 360-degree turret, what you can do is you can position the vehicle so it can actually run away from the enemy if they get close, and then turn the turret to face the enemy. So you don't actually have to have the vehicle aligned with the direction of fire. All the other RTs do. In fact, this is the only RT in the game with an autoloader. Yep, that's quite surprising. In fact, auto-loading RTs are fairly common today. In fact, auto-loading in terms of some RTs like the Archer, which have got multiple shots available, but of course there are quite a few Swedish RT which also have autoloaders and can fire out a huge number of shells, one after the other. In fact, they're so accurate, they have to actually put a destabilizer in to actually force the shells to miss the same position. Because if you aim them at one spot and you fired, the guns are so accurate they hit the same spot every time. So they put a little device in which actually sends the shells slightly off to one side, slightly off to the other, so you don't just make a gigantic shell hole at the other end of the map. After all, RT sometimes is supposed to actually land over an entire area to wipe out troops and that sort of thing. Now this RT this Arty is based on the hull of the M47, the chassis of the M47, but it does have some parts of the Bat Chat 25 ton in it as well. It does have fairly good accuracy, as I think you can see, and the aim time's not bad. The only problem really is the load time for the magazine. It is diabolically long. And of course it takes 20 seconds to actually fire out. Oh, he got a hit there! The K91 took that one. Yes, it takes 20 seconds to fire all 3 shells. Because of course you've got to wait 10 seconds in between each shell. With the other tier 10s, it doesn't take quite so long. Another direct hit, this time on the Super Conqueror. He's still got 1 shell ready to go. Okay, he's now looking at an IS-7 at the back of the map on the west side. He's sitting in the sniping bush. Runs out. No, went long and to the left. You see, that's exactly what BassmanFromHell is doing. He's actually positioning his vehicle so he can move about, but keeping the turret facing north at the enemy. This tank, actually, this Arty has a fairly low shell arc, and of course that wasn't made better by the fact that when Wargaming did the Arty nerf, that lowered the shell trajectories quite a bit. Now, Bassman has loaded 12 rounds of the improved HE. It's the one that does more damage but has no stun. Direct hit on the T95. He's not going to be happy about that one. And we're getting stun assist. Oh, we know we're not getting stun assist, but we got the kill there. Okay, going for the 60 TP next one. Rounds out. And he gets a hit for 81. Not much damage. It was heavy armor. The weight of the armor does affect the amount of damage you're going to do with this Arty. It does have the lowest penetration of all the tier 10s, the Bat Chat 155-58. It's also got the longest magazine reload as well for the Arty. And the lowest damage per shell. Oh dear, this is a bit of a problem. We've got the K91 and the T124 turned up at the railway line. But we do have some teammates nearby who can assist us, defend us. Well, the Viz 55 in our time just did. Oh, he just killed the T124 with a blind shot. He aimed down the trajectory where he was last seen, and the shell just wiped him out as he popped up onto the top. I don't think he expected that one, but I'm afraid he's gonna be fuming like hell, saying, "How did he get that shot on target?" And another hit, this time on the Leopard 1. Even on the move, this one is deadly. He's 60 TP. Could put a round in there, but he's just noticed there's a Death Star, the FV215B183, just crossed the railway line. And he's sitting behind the trees. And he takes a 72 hit point hit. Now that sounded like an artillery round. And the Death Star has gone down, taken out by our Gorilla 15. The enemy Arty is a T92 HMC. We haven't heard from him at all, but I suspect that he will be firing in this direction, because after all there's a large number of our teammates in this general vicinity. So far collected 1,500 hit points of actual damage, 2,186 stun assist. You got 311 stun assist off that FV215B183. But we've lost sight of all of the enemy at the moment, so I'm just going to have to wait for our team to find them. Ah, okay, the IS-4. As you know, that's an up-armoured version of an IS-2. Well, he fired a bit snap there, to be honest. He should have waited it for it to settle just a little bit more. But he's ready now. Rounds out. That's better. That's a direct hit for 201. Ooh, the Progetto's crossed the railway line. He's about to take a hit. Rounds out. Yep, 309. I think that was a splash, actually. I get the feeling the shell actually landed behind him, but he backed into the splash. Progettos don't have much in the way of armour, and even a 155mm round is going to make some mess of them. Okay, we're now loading the special HE rounds with no stuns, so we won't be getting any more stun assist off this game. And that's one of the main reasons why a lot of Arty players don't use the improved HE or the armor piercing rounds, simply because you don't get any stun assist off them. Stun assist is terribly important if you want to get a first class or an ace tanker. Wargaming seem to forget that. It's so important. Okay, Supercop rounds out. Oh no. Zip past the side of his turret, but the enemy Leopard has died. You can just see, yes, he's not exposing much, but he was hit on the turret previously. Oh, that one hit. That one definitely hit. 278 hit points, and it's forced him to pull back because he's now very vulnerable. He's one shot. Actually zipped over the top of his spaced armour, went right into the turret on top of it. Well, the enemy's capping, but we can't see anyone at the moment. And again, that's one of the bad things about the Bat Chat 155-58. It's got a very short view range, 280 meters max. Now, he's guessing that he's probably going to be behind the wreck. I'd say that's probably correct. There's only one in the cap, and it's probably the K91. And if he sits behind that wreck, only the top of his turret's going to be showing. He might actually be able to shoot over that wreck as well. Okay, we're lining up the shot for the IS-4, but yes, he was behind the wreck, just as we guessed. But remember, Arty shells are coming in from above, so he's going to get hit. Yep, direct hit, 179. And another direct hit, but this time it's a blind hit because we lost sight of him. Okay, the IS-4's appeared at the centre line again. It's waiting for the turret to turn round. You notice how quickly it dials in as soon as it has reached the point you're aiming for. Rounds out. That looks better. 179. It landed just to the left of the IS-4. Oh, and we've just been hit by a splash from a T92 HMC, and he's worked out where we are now, so we're going to have to change position. But there's an IS-7 nearby, and if our teammates don't get rid of him, we will get hit. So we've just got to hope that they get him in the next 20 seconds, otherwise the T92 will put in a kill shot on us. And yep, they've seen us. They know where we are now, so we might as well move straight away. And he didn't. No. That was the Superconk getting revenge. He should have moved. The moment he saw the IS-7, he froze because obviously he didn't want to expose himself to the IS-7. But the moment the IS-7 was killed, he should have moved immediately. And unfortunately now all he's doing is providing cover for the Heshbarn, who's fairly low on hit points. But we've only got 13 seconds left in the game, and I don't think the enemy's going to be able to cap out in time, and especially if the Heshbarn gets a reset. He will pick up a defender as well if he does, and I don't think he's going to get it in time. And that's it, game over. It's a draw. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a third class tanker for the Bassman from Hell in the Bat Chat 155-58. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 20, but sadly he didn't get any other medals in that game, and we'll find out why very shortly. The win 8 was very good though, 4,719, which is super unicum and a bit more. So why didn't he get any medals in that game? Let's have a look. Well, the highest damage in the game actually went to the T95 FV4201 on his own team, who managed 6,325 hit points. He picked up a high caliber, a patrol duty, and a Confederate from that game, but he didn't survive. The second highest damage in the game went to the Super Conqueror with 5,035 hit points. That's the guy who actually took out Bassman, and he picked up a steel wall. And the third highest damage went to the FV4005, the Heshbarn, who did 4,739 hit points from that game. There was another Heshbarn on the team. He was the only other survivor, actually, and they were both in platoon. When it came to kills, it was actually the Heshbarn who did the best with 4 kills. 3 kills went to the Super Conqueror on the enemy team. 2 kills went to Bassman, to the Gorilla 15, the CS63, and the T110E4 on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, it's actually that T95 FV4201 again with 722, and the second highest was the Super Conqueror with 616, and then it's Bassman with 613. So there was only 3 base points in it on XP for the second place. Okay, let's have a look at detail. 30 shots fired, 13 direct hits on the enemy, but no penetrations. Yes, that penetration is pretty diabolical. 48mm. It's not enough when you're in a tier 10 game, and that's one of the bad points about this Arty. He got 28 splash on the enemy as well. 3,871 hit points of damage, all of it at more than 300 meters. He did receive 1 hit. It was from the Super Conch, and that was the shell that wiped him out. It penetrated. He also received 1 hit by way of splash damage from the T92 HMC, and that reduced his hit points and made him vulnerable to that shot from the Super Conch. 12 enemy vehicles were damaged, 2 were killed, 317 hit points of damage assist, and 2,186 hit points of stun assist off 22 stuns. And he also got 18 defense points when he reset the cap on the K91. 62,321 credits from the game, but after repair and ammunition resupply, he actually made a loss of 4,454 credits. 25 bonds for mission achievement and 5 bonds for this being a tier 10 game, 30 bonds in total, 919 XP, and there was no multipliers because it was a draw, so that's all the experience points he took away. So the Bat Chat 155.58, it's very underwhelming. It used to be a great Arty when it had 4 shots, and that was a while back. They took one of those shots away and then they lengthened the reload time, mainly because Wargaming didn't want packs of these Bat Chats working together to keep an enemy tank permanently stunned until it was out the game, and they thought that was unfair. So in the end they took away 1 shell, they lengthened the reload time, and basically they neutered this Arty. It used to be the Arty of choice for a lot of players, not anymore. Anyway, let's have a look at the armor profile for this Arty. Well, as you can see, the armor is very underwhelming indeed. You've got the front plate, or lower plate there, of 16mm, 22 in total. Upper plate's 12mm. You're only getting 37 because it's a rectangle. There we can see another 16mm, 22 effective. The casing or casemate around the actual howitzer is only 16mm, and that's about all you're getting of it, really. And the sides of the vehicle, again, 16mm. Any shell that hits this Arty is going to go through, and it's the same on the rear. You look at that, 12mm impacted armor, effective armor the same. Yep, so the armor on this tank is non-existent. Anywhere you hit it, it's more than likely to go through. The only likelihood of blocking the shot is if you actually hit the tracks. That's about it. So let's have a look at the modules and see where they are. Okay, well, here's the modules, and you can see the driver sitting up front, and he's got his viewports directly in front of him. Just behind him is the main stowage for the ammo rack down below, but you can see there's a huge ammo rack right up in the top of the turret to feed into the howitzer. You've got the gunner on the right hand side as you're looking at it. The commander's on the left hand side in that cupola, and he's got the radio right next door to him. Directly behind the gunner is 2 loaders, and they're feeding the shells out of the ammo rack into the breech. I think you can see that there's another ammo rack directly underneath the howitzer as well. And if we look round the back, you can see the fuel tanks are either side of the engine with the transmission right at the rear. So basically, if you want to set this tank off with a big explosion, just aim for the right hand side of the turret. As you're looking at it, there's a huge ammo rack there. I wouldn't bother about this one down below because it's so low, difficult to judge exactly where to put the shell. But just aim for the right hand side of the turret. You should get a nice big bang. And if you don't, you'll probably kill either the loaders or the gunner. And if you can accurately aim your shot, you can take out the commander just by aiming at that cupola. So there you are. That's where the modules are on the Bat Chat 15558. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And please do remember that since the war in Ukraine started, we're now giving all of the revenue from this channel to aid the refugees in Ukraine. We're giving all our money to the Red Cross, and we do have proof that we are handing that money over. So please do watch as many of our videos as you can, because the more videos you watch, the more money we can send to the Red Cross and help those refugees. So thanks very much for watching.